How to create a lease agreement. Before starting to create a lease agreement, make sure you have the right setup for entity, counterparty, portfolio, cost center, bank account, and lease type in the system. Entity, counterparty, portfolio, and cost center information is stored at the settings in common data, whereas lease types can be managed in instruments. Bank accounts can be added to cash management module through bank account settings. Please note that new lease agreements can be imported from Excel, created manually, or just by copying an existing one. Following the steps explained in this video, you can proceed with creating a lease agreement manually. Start by navigating to Leasing Register and choosing Add New. The drop-down menu gives you an option to select a specific lease type. Select the one that best suits the asset group the lease belongs to. Then, update all fields that are relevant to your lease. All mandatory fields to be filled are marked with a red asterisk. Entity is the lessee of the contract. Counterparty is the lessor of the contract. Portfolio, cost center, and project selection helps to categorize your data in reports. Lease data input allows you to fill in the customer reference and interest rate percent for your lease agreement. IFRS accounting should be activated if you want to follow IFRS 16 accounting for this particular lease. Amount data relates to currency, account, and fixed asset lease amount. The fixed asset lease amount is the share of your lease cost that is directly linked to the fixed asset. Once you select currency, the system will provide you with a selection of related bank accounts from the drop-down menu. Add services included in lease amount if you have them, and system will automatically calculate you the total lease payment amount. Commencement date is the start date of the lease. System will automatically change the start date to the first day of the month you have selected. First payment month is the month after the lease start date. System will automatically change the first payment date to the last day of the month selected. Fill in the end date. System will automatically change the end date to the last day of the final month. Then select the number of payments per year. Contractual end date is by default the same as the end date. If this is the case, it can also be left blank. Payment day is used to automatically adjust all your payments for selected day. Under lease liability, you can enter additional information on your lease liability to fields exercise price of a purchase option, residual value guarantee, and penalties for terminating the lease. If you input values here, then you need to be certain that you will execute these at the end of your lease term. Your liability amount will show these values at the end of the lease term, which you then need to write off on your balance sheet containing these payments. Under right-of-use asset, you can enter additional values that have an effect only on the right-of-use asset. Lease payments made on or before start date, initial direct cost, estimated cost for dismantling restoring asset, incentives received, and residual value. Once you have added all the details you want to save for your lease agreement, click Save. After these steps, you have the option to save additional information of your lease on additional and facility management pages. On the Additional tab, you insert additional text to support the documentation of the agreement. On Facility Management page, you can insert detailed information related to your office or retail facility leases. All these information fields are set to support your internal facility management practices and are therefore optional. Once the agreement is saved, you need to create the lease flows that will be recorded in your reporting and accounting. Click Lease Flows tab and choose Generate Flows from the cogwheel symbol. If you are saving a lease without special price increase conditions, simply check the automatically filled details for first payment month, calculation start date, fixed asset lease amount, services included in lease and end date before proceeding to save. In case your lease contains price increases, define this before saving the flows. First, select the price increase interval. If, for example, the interval is yearly, insert 12. Date of last payment with original value is the last day of the month the initial payment is due. Next input, the negotiated price increase amount, or Input the negotiated price increase percentage. Following these steps, the next payment will automatically appear with the increased amount on your payment schedule. Finally, click Save to create the lease flows. You will now see the detailed schedule for your payments. If you are happy with how they look, choose Save.